Hey, you're listening to the Honey Guess What podcast. I'm Brynn,
And I'm Dan.
and it's episode 12.
This is 12.
I think so.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure what number it was.
I'm pretty sure we're on 12.
However many episodes it is, it took this many for us to not remember what episode number it was when we started the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I think that's proof that we're like into this now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
All right. So,
I guess let's just right from the start say that we're both fighting illnesses right now. There's a very good chance that you're going to hear one or both of us coughing during this podcast.
it's true.
But we still wanted to get something out.
Yeah, we a bit later than we wanted already, and we didn't want to extend that any further or even miss a week. So, hopefully, you'll enjoy the content. Excuse maybe some of the voice quality.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But we'll get there. So
I won the toss this week, so I get to get started first. And so I did find like a listicle, which I know we were kind of trying to move away from, but I just got too interested in it to not share it with you.
Okay, that sounds fun.
It's from businessinsider.com.
Okay.
And the article is from September 2019, so it's recent.
Oh, hey.
I double checked that this time. Okay, I'm learning.
I'm proud of you.
So what I've got here, and I think you're going to enjoy this, is 50 of the most ridiculous laws in the United States.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
One for each state.
I'm ready for this. These are like blue laws? Are you familiar with what blue laws are?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, I don't mean to steal your thunder. Go ahead and, so a blue law is a law that, a lot of times they're so old that they're not canceled out. They're not like written out as being not a law anymore. It's just that nobody went back and was like, oh, this is
So
not.
some of those are like that.
Okay.
Some of these are just kind of ridiculous laws that had to be made in a situation.
Sure. Okay.
And so they're on the books, even though that exact situation will probably never happen again.
Right. Okay.
Some of them are outdated blue laws. Some of them are just really random things that shouldn't needed to be
No, I'm here for
put
this.
down on the books.
This is my type of thing. I like this.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have one for each state. I might not get to all of them. I might skip some of the less interesting ones just because 50 is a lot for us to talk about.
50 is quite a few.
But all the shorter lists didn't include some of the funniest ones. So
yeah.
Okay. So I just want to say again that these are real laws. They're not urban legends or fake laws that people put on the internet. These are all weird or outlandish laws that are actually on the books, whether or not they've been enforced. And again, this is from businessinsider.com.
Okay.
So we'll start with Alabama.
Okay.
In the city of Mobile, Alabama, it is illegal to carry, manufacture, sell, or handle any non-biodegradable plastic-based confetti.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, like, if you purchase confetti off of Amazon and have it mailed to your house, you better make sure it's biodegradable.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see how that could be a problem if you enforced that law. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
A person cannot get drunk in a bar and remain on the premises.
Challenge accepted.
The statute says an intoxicated person may not knowingly enter or camp out where alcohol is sold.
I'm pretty sure we saw that happening.
Right? That's like a pastime in Alaska.
Yeah.
To drink.
That's staying warm.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, as recently as 2012, police in Anchorage, Alaska have been enforcing the law by sending plainclothes officers into bars to identify excessively drunk people and arrest suspects.
Oh, okay.
So they are enforcing it
in
some places, at least.
Okay.
Arizona.
Okay.
No one can feed garbage to pigs without first obtaining a permit. You can feed waste to pigs if they are your own and raised for your own consumption.
Okay. No, this makes sense. I'm actually on board with. This is good.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to know what the pig you're going to eat has been eating.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. No, this is good. I'm up for this one.
Okay, Arkansas.
Yeah.
A pinball machine cannot give away more than 25 free games to a player who continues to win.
Wait, what state is this again?
Arkansas.
Okay. All right.
It's understood that this law was originally put into place to prohibit machines from encouraging gambling.
And yet another.
But it's very specific about pinball machine and 25 free games to players who continue to win.
Okay. Yeah, they had a person in mind.
Yeah, they definitely, like, it was for a specific place or something.
Yeah.
California.
Yes.
A frog that dies during a frog jumping contest cannot be eaten and must be destroyed as soon as possible.
Are they afraid of people, like, doping the frogs and then getting high off of them?
I have no idea.
Is that?
This health code likely made its way into books to protect competitors during the Calaveras County Fair and Frog Jumping Jubilee, which is a decades-old tradition that goes back to the gold mining town.
Okay.
But apparently, like, it's a pretty popular pastime. Like, they have professional frog jockeys that, like, come every year.
What a... What?
How the other half lives, I don't know.
You know, there's a group of people that just, like, do the random jobs.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine, like, writing that on your resume?
Yeah.
Part-time frog jockey.
I don't think you have a resume at that point. Like,
well, you must have another job. Like, that's not your only job.
no, but that's my point. Is like, you just do enough of those weird random things. Do you need one?
No, I suppose not.
If it pays well enough, I don't know. It's certainly niche.
Are you ready for Colorado?
Sure.
You have to get a permit to modify the weather.
Oval spit take.
To be fair, several of the ski resorts have companies that do different things, including burning silver iodide.
Yeah.
Which changes the clouds above the ski slopes so that they precipitate more. It is something that happens in Colorado.
Okay. All right.
It's just the way the law is written.
Right.
You have to have a permit to modify the weather.
Yeah. That was probably written like when that was in its heyday, and they're like, well, this is only going to get worse as technology gets better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
It is illegal to collect rags, paper, glass, old metal, junk, cinders, or other waste matter in the city without a license.
Okay, so what do you do with it? You just have to dispose of it immediately?
I must be. Hartford, Connecticut. Not the place to be if you're a
scrapper. No.
Yeah, or a pack rat.
Or survivalists.
Yeah. Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
It is a misdemeanor to sell, barter, or offer the fur of a domestic dog or cat.
Oh, well, good. Okay.
It can result in a fine of $2,500 and a ban on owning a dog or cat for 15 years after conviction.
I'm okay with that as well. That's just
serious.
Those two things should not go hand in hand.
Especially not in this day and age. Like, it's like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Florida.
This is going to be good.
People who own bars, restaurants, and other places where liquor is sold may be fined up to $1,000 if they participate in or permit any contest of dwarf cup tossing. Oh, I killed Dan. Wait, it gets better.
No, it doesn't yet.
It does.
It doesn't get better just yet. It needs to wait a minute.
Swallow your water. You ready?
Okay.
Florida outlawed the tossing of little people in 1989 after the bar activity caught on in southern parts of the state.
What is wrong with people?
Worse, a Florida state legislator tried to repeal the law in 2011.
Why?
But was unsuccessful.
Okay, goodness. Thank goodness. Oh my.
That was so worth the reaction.
Was it Randy Newman?
Dan, stop.
Did Randy Newman try to repeal that law?
You're done.
Hey, you brought it up. I'm here supposed to make the jokes.
Oh, okay. That's how this works.
That's how this works.
Georgia.
Georgia.
Those engaged in llama-related activities.
No, stop there.
Such as riding, training, or goofing around at a county fair are responsible for any personal injuries they suffer.
I mean,
You may, however, pursue legal action if you are simply watching from an authorized area.
it's like NASCAR.
Right? Llama-related activities.
So this is like NASCAR.
Yes. You
In
can mess
Georgia.
around with llamas, but if you get hurt, it's your own problem.
Okay. Thanks, Georgia.
Thanks, Georgia. Hawaii.
Okay.
Billboards were outlawed in the state with very few exceptions, including notices from public office and signs posting where goods are sold.
No, that makes okay. I'm actually
It was part of the Urban Beautification Initiative in 1927.
okay.
However, this is where it gets weird.
Okay. All right.
An all-white group of power wives in Hawaii
Oh no.
created the Outdoor Circle Club and lobbied for the ban on outdoor ads in 1927.
Anything?
So it's a little bit white supremacist, like a little bit like racially motivated, but Hawaii is beautiful and unmarred by billboards. So there's that.
Okay. Thank you, Hawaiian white people.
Idaho.
Not gonna touch that one.
Cannibalism is strictly prohibited and punishable up to 14 years in prison. Except
No.
under life-threatening conditions as the only apparent means of survival. So Idaho says, don't eat people.
And if you do, you're going to jail for 14 years.
Right. Unless you're frozen, snowed into a place, and the only thing you can do is eat your brother. Then we'll be lenient. I'm just going to move right on.
Yeah.
Illinois.
Okay.
It is a crime in Illinois to possess more than $600 worth of salamanders.
I feel like we need to call somebody.
That's 75 plus salamanders according to fair market value.
Mm-hmm.
However, this very specific law is pretty unnecessary because it's also illegal under Illinois law to possess any variety of aquatic life that was captured or killed in violation of the Fish and Aquatic Life Code. So you shouldn't have them anyway, but if you have them, has less than 75.
Huh. Okay.
I'm going to skip Indiana. People can look it up if they want. Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
It is illegal to try to pass off margarine as real butter.
Okay. Where is this?
Iowa.
Iowa. Thank you.
It would be guilty of a misdemeanor under food labeling laws in Iowa.
Iowa. I support this as a federal law. This needs to happen. Thank you, Iowa.
Thank you, Iowa.
You just should know. You can prefer it. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. You can prefer it, but you gotta know it.
Skipping Kansas, they still have some really weird liquor laws that date back to Prohibition.
Okay.
In Kentucky, every legislator, public officer, and lawyer must take an oath stating they have not fought a duel with deadly weapons.
Wait.
So that's obviously an example of a blue law. It's been on the books since 1849. It was meant to deter men who might aspire to public office from participating in
that's good.
duels.
That's really good.
So,
yeah.
Here's a good one. Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Jambalaya,
Yeah.
prepared in, quote, the traditional manner, is not subject to state sanitary code.
Oh, no.
Because of how long it takes to cook, it can be done. The traditional manner includes using iron pots over wood fires. It doesn't have to follow the same food regulation codes as like other restaurant foods.
Because they're going to kill everything anyway.
And like the taste is in the pot.
Uh-huh.
Like, they've got their
Yep.
jambalaya pot, and they've
Yeah.
got their, like,
Yeah, it's all
everybody's
seasoned
got their
already.
things. Exactly. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have the same. I'm not saying don't eat
No,
jambalaya. Whatever.
listen, here's the thing like that. There's an entire state of people who are still alive. So, I mean,
Right.
have at it.
Have at it. Let's talk about Maine.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a game in Maine called Beano.
There's a game in Maine that's mainly played.
Stop. It's called Beano. It's kind of like bingo.
Okay.
Okay, but it's highly regulated. The law says that a person may assist players by playing their cards while they take a bathroom break.
Okay.
However, this allowance does not apply in high stakes Beano, which is also apparently a thing.
Okay. High stakes Beano just is a different term in my head. Like altogether.
Well,
Related to jambalaya.
ha ha ha. You're funny.
No, I'm not. Don't encourage me. Continue. I'm sorry.
In Maryland, it is illegal to pretend to forecast or foretell the future of another by cards, palm reading, or any other scheme, practice, or device.
Oh, they're really afraid of the occult down there.
You could down there in Maryland.
Yeah.
You can be found guilty of a misdemeanor and fined up to $500 or even serve time in jail.
Okay, was this in the like night? Was it? Do you have one that was written?
I do not have when it was written.
Because I might know a thing about this.
Okay, tell me.
I want to say I might have the location wrong, but it was definitely like late 1800s, early 1900s was when people became really worried with the occult.
Yeah.
There was there were these sisters that had this scheme going on about ghosts. And
So I almost did my thing today on ghost stories that had been debunked, and I might do it actually in a couple weeks.
That's fine. I'd be interested. But it actually prompted the creation of the Ouija board.
Yeah, that's part of what I had done research on. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I did research on 2 different topics this week. You should be super proud of me.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So yeah,
But yeah,
I think that might
makes sense.
That might be related to this. So
that might be. All right, I'm skipping Massachusetts. It's baseball related. Look it up. Michigan.
Yeah.
A statute on the books since 1931 makes adultery a felony. It's punishable by a maximum of 4 years in prison and a possible $5,000 fine. Adultery.
Really?
Okay?
Okay.
However, it's pretty clear that it has not been followed up on. In 2012, a police sergeant was fired for on-the-job misconduct after allegedly cheating on his wife with a local waitress using a city-issued cell phone.
Well, you don't get much more smoking gun than that.
Right?
Yeah.
He was not fined or imprisoned.
Smoking gun. I didn't. That was not intentional. That one wasn't.
It's not fined or imprisoned. So Michigan probably doesn't take that law too seriously.
No,
anymore.
probably not.
Minnesota. Any contest in which participants try to capture a greased or oiled pig is illegal. The same law also prohibits turkey scrambles. So animal rights are big in Minnesota.
I would not have guessed that, but okay.
Well, it's not fair to grease a pig and chase him around.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Minnesota of all places.
Minnesota.
Cool. All right.
Mississippi.
Yes.
Profanity in public could land a person in jail for up to 30 days.
I highly doubt that happens.
It's illegal for anyone to use vulgar or obscene language in the presence of 2 or more people.
I am...
Yeah, I don't know how much it gets.
Yeah.
I'm sure if there are people like out in the street causing an issue swearing, police can come and say, I have the right to arrest you for this.
Yeah. Okay.
As a way to kind of disperse them.
Sure.
But I wouldn't expect that.
No.
That's one that's... Here's a good one. Missouri. If a bull or ram over the age of 1 year runs rampant for more than 3 days, any person may castrate the animal without assuming liability or damage.
So, let me understand this.
So if you have a fully matured bull or ram that has escaped your property and is running around for more than 3 days, other people can protect their livestock from your horny livestock by castrating the animal.
I think at that point they're doing me a favor because if I haven't gotten it by that point, I probably can't get it.
However, they must first attest in writing that the animal is loose, and the owner must fail to reclaim or confine the beast after they're given written notice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, still see no downside here.
Yeah.
So, cool, good law. Fine with that.
I'm skipping Montana. Nebraska. No person who is afflicted with a sexually transmitted disease may get married. This one is nearly impossible to enforce, especially because the state doesn't require blood tests or medical histories to get a marriage license.
Right.
However, it is on the books that more than 9,700 Nebraskans reported cases of chlamydia or gonorrhea in 2015. So one would assume that some of those people are married.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely not a real law anymore.
No, how do you even?
No. Well, and what is that thing we watched, the documentary? So was it Adam Ruins Everything?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're like
everyone at some point has had some sort of STI, or like one in four people gets none their whole life, or something ridiculously low.
It's something ridiculous low. So yeah.
Nevada. Using an X-ray machine to determine a person's shoe size is a misdemeanor. However, this was a really common practice, okay? So when X-rays were first invented,
Oh, okay.
they were like a sideshow thing. Like,
I'm
they didn't
sure.
realize that radiation poisoning was a thing.
I'm sure.
And so that is how they like sized shoes. They literally had X-ray machines in shoe shops.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
to determine like the shape of your foot so that your shoes fit perfectly. But it's against the law now.
Yeah, okay. You know, there's that one guy who like
This is how we've always done it. My grandfather used this machine, and all of his shoes fit his customers perfectly.
Yeah. And, there's that, political like debate happening where it's like, and never will I introduce legislation that regulates X-ray machines for your feet.
Right. Skipping New Hampshire. Here's a good one. New Jersey. A person wearing a bulletproof vest while carrying out a grave criminal act can be charged separately for wearing a bulletproof vest. It adds jail time and fines. So if you're caught like doing an armed robbery,
right,
wearing a bulletproof vest, that means it like was very calculated and you knew there was a chance that you would get shot by the police.
Yeah.
So they can charge you separately for wearing a bulletproof vest.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jersey.
Yeah.
It's Jersey, Dan.
Yeah, okay.
I'm waggling my eyebrows like, the Jersey, New Jersey, the mob. Dan's not getting it. Never mind.
I'm getting it. It's just not making any more of an impact.
Oh, okay. In New Mexico, for years, quote-unquote idiots could not vote in most elections.
Mm-hmm.
The word historically was used to describe somebody with a very low IQ.
Right, yeah.
It took until 2016 for the state Supreme Court to scrap that archaic law from the books. 2016.
I just don't want to think about that. Can you move on?
Sure. We're up to New York.
Okay.
The Empire State banned being masked or in any manner disguised in public with other people dressed in the same getup. The law has withstood legal challenges since 1845. It does have exceptions for certain parties or like specific demonstrations.
But you're telling me and my friends could not go out all dressed up in black robes and Guy Fawkes masks at any point? Probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea.
Huh. That's, wow.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's for public safety.
It's a good thing. It's I get it. It's just, to think about it as like being on the law. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
In New York State.
All right. Cool, New York.
In North Carolina, a bingo game that is conducted or sponsored by a commercial organization may not last more than 5 hours. That's a very specific law that was put into place for a very specific reason, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It does go on to say that nonprofit groups can meet for as long as they like.
Okay, so if you're doing it as like a, fundraiser for, how long can you play? Like,
As a fundraiser, it sounds like that would be
that
under
would
the
be
5
fun.
hours.
Well, no, like
Oh, nonprofit groups.
nonprofit.
So I guess I think that mostly meant like
Hmm.
like if you're having like a bingo party or a bingo whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, 5 hours is a long time to play bingo.
Yeah.
In North Dakota, this is a real law.
Okay.
All members of the North Dakota Dry Pea and Lentil Council must be citizens.
Well, I'm sure that was also a very specific case.
I'm sure, but it's still on the book. In Ohio, every operator of an underground coal mine must provide adequate supply of toilet paper for each toilet.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. No questions there. That's a yes.
Skipping Oklahoma. In Oregon, leaving a container of urine or fecal matter on the side of the road is a Class A misdemeanor.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
In Pennsylvania, it is against the law to barter your baby for goods or services.
Okay, but what if you steal them back afterwards? Like,
okay, there are a lot of human trafficking laws on the books.
yeah.
But this is a very specific
That
one.
really is, and it's really depressing the more you think about it. So,
you want to hear what's worse? Is that it's only a misdemeanor.
So
if you're caught bartering your baby for goods or services,
stop it.
It's only a misdemeanor.
No. Geez, Pennsylvania. Get better or get worse. It's like your highway system.
Here's a good one. Rhode Island. Someone who bites off another person's limb will face no more than 20 years in prison.
No more.
But not less than 1. And only if they maimed the victim on purpose. So if you accidentally bite off a limb.
Wait, where did the Tyson fight happen?
I don't know. I don't think an ear is considered a limb.
Okay.
South Carolina.
A
male over the age of 16 can't seduce a woman by falsely promising to marry her.
Really? Well, I mean, that Paradise by the Dashboard light. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's what that is.
That's exactly what that is. I'm skipping South Dakota. In Tennessee, it is illegal to hunt, trap, or harm an albino deer intentionally.
Okay.
Albino deers are really rare.
Yeah.
People really love them.
Yeah.
They've been compared to modern day unicorns.
Okay. I mean, they're genetically not going to take over. Yeah.
I'm skipping Texas. It's religious and it's going to upset my husband, so I'm skipping it.
Okay.
In Utah, no one may hurl a missile at a bus or bus terminal, except peace officers and security personnel.
Hurling missiles.
No one may hurl a missile at a bus or bus terminal, except peace officers and security personnel.
I don't even know the circumstances under which that would happen.
I don't know either, but it's fine if you're a police officer. Just the everyday person cannot throw a missile at a bus or bus terminal.
I feel like that could be umbrellaed under at least one other thing.
Right? It's a very specific law.
Yep.
So that's that. Vermont. We're almost to the end here. This one's a cool one because it actually prohibits the outlawing of solar collectors and clotheslines.
Oh. So
basically, you're allowed to have a clothesline or a solar panel, no matter what your HSA, right?
Home Housing Authority. The local housing authority.
Yeah. Even if it's against the the community board or whatever, they're not allowed to do that actually, because
Oh,
clotheslines and solar collectors are energy devices based on renewable resources and therefore protected by law in Vermont.
yeah. The little time I visited Vermont, like for like a weekend or something.
HOA, homeowners
Homeowners
association. That's what I
association, yeah.
meant.
I was it really is weird. Like we just like cross the border and it's like things are just done a little bit differently. Just a little, just enough that you're like, oh yeah, I'm in a different state. What is this?
Yeah.
And it's things like that, and you're like, oh, so yeah, that's a pretty cool one. I like that one.
So this one's interesting too. Virginia has an odd law on the books that suggests Virginia may be for prudes and not for lovers, as fornication is completely banned except for married couples and is punishable as a misdemeanor.
Well, I am certain that there are lots of law-abiding citizens. So
It is kind of funny though,
yeah,
the saying Virginia is for lovers, but
only
only if you're married.
Yeah.
This one makes sense, and I actually think it's a law in many other states, so I don't know why it made this list. In Washington, doors to nearly all public buildings must open outwardly
Yeah, I heard that for.
to avoid congestion during emergencies like fires. We actually talked about this today, my mom and the kids, because
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's true for public buildings in New York too.
I had been told that it was.
Yeah, I don't know
So.
why it's considered a weird law.
No, I'm not sure either.
This one you'll laugh at.
Yeah.
In West Virginia,
Yep. Not mama.
it is illegal to hunt, catch, take, kill, injure, or pursue wild animals or birds using a ferret. You good? You will face a fine of no less than $100, but no more than $500, and could end up in jail for up to 100 days. So,
Well, and then who's gonna feed your
and
ferrets?
who's going to feed your hunting ferrets?
Yeah.
This is my hunting ferret.
Yikes.
It's West Virginia.
Uh,
All right. In Wisconsin,
yeah.
you can be in legal trouble if your state certified cheese is not considered highly pleasing.
I mean, can we just get a more stereotypical law for Wisconsin?
Right? Under this umbrella, it includes Munster cheese, cheddar cheese, Colby cheese, and Monterey Jack cheese. It must be considered highly pleasing, or you can be in legal trouble. For Wisconsin.
I don't know. I'm kind of on Wisconsin's side on this one.
Don't make crappy cheese.
Don't make crappy cheese. Like,
yeah.
Like everyone else is doing it right. Don't throw your hat in it. Don't ruin it.
All right, here's the last one. We're on Wyoming.
Okay.
In Wyoming.
In Wyoming. In Wyoming.
It is illegal to cut, sever, detach, or mutilate more than 1/2 of a sheep's ear. It is a felony.
Okay.
Punishable by up to 5 years in prison. So I think it has to do with the tagging and docking of ears, which happens in a lot of you know, farming and ranching.
Yeah.
But don't go overboard. You don't need to take their whole ear.
It might even be like a licensing and like training certification like thing. Be like, hey, you have to have real experienced people do this.
Yeah.
Not just, your buddy down the road. So cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Those were lots of fun.
Yeah. I think I did about 45 out of 50. I did mention all of the ones I skipped. So if you want to go find that article, it's on businessinsider.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird laws from every state.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I thought it was a little more upbeat than ghosts. I might do the ghost stories later, though, because it's pretty fun, ghost stories that have been proven false.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. All right. We're going to take a quick break for ad break, and we'll be back, and I'll do my part.
Awesome. We're back.
We are back. So,
all that laughing left you awfully croaky. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just have a more unique voice this time.
He's like 2 days behind me in terms of antibiotics and steroids and everything. I'm definitely on the upswing, but Dan is.
Yeah, I'm still miring in the in the thick of it. So, I decided that, we joked early on in this podcast about how neither of us are experts in anything.
Nope.
Well, I was thinking about it and I was like, that's not entirely true. I technically have a degree.
You do have a degree,
I
honey.
have an advanced degree.
You do.
I have a master's degree in mental health counseling. And something that I thought would be really good to do, it's not going to be as funny per se, but it's really important to me, um, to give people a little bit of insight sometimes on their own brain and how that works and how we deal with ourselves in daily life. And so I thought it'd be really cool to do something, a little bit of education that I would do literally this with every single client that I took when I was working. So it's super important, and I hopefully you get a little bit out of it, and hopefully our listeners do too.
Cool.
So a term that I'm going to key in on is cognitive distortion. Cognitive distortions are things that everyone does. You do them, I do them. They're ways that we trick ourselves into thinking or feeling a certain way to try and motivate ourselves towards action. Okay. All right. So that's the point of it. What's that?
Nothing. I'm just already feeling personally attacked.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to call. I swear I will not call you out on anything.
Thank you.
I will read out examples, and if you want to jump in and say I do that, you can do that.
I can out myself.
I'll out myself on some of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all do that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Every single person does these things. Some people are really good at some of them, and not so good at others. So I'll give you an example. So some of the reasons that we might do this, the really mundane example I use is right around this time of year, taxes. We even did it a little bit where we're like, we got all our tax forms finally. We should really get this done. TikTok,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, what did we do? Why? Like, we're pretty sure we were going to get a refund we could have used earlier. Why wouldn't we rush out the door and do it? Not sure. So what things might we say to ourselves?
It doesn't matter if we get it done this week or next week. Like, we said that.
Right, we said that. It doesn't matter if we get it done this week or next week. And in actuality, doesn't matter? Not a lot.
No. Like you said, we could use the refund when we get it, but
right. But if we're wanting to motivate ourselves to take that action, what's something we might say to ourselves? If we don't get the tax return by whatever month, that's going to throw off our budgeting for the summer, for whatever you might want to say. Things you might tell yourself
to get it done quicker.
To get it done quicker, whether it's true or not. So those are broad examples.
Like, if we don't go today, we're not going to be able to have any time to do it in the next 2 weeks. So we need to go today.
Yeah, it has to be today.
Right. Even though we could have gone the next day, literally the next day we had time.
Right.
But we talked ourselves into it and we did it.
And we did it. Okay.
Yep.
Which is not a bad place to be.
Right.
But, so here's some other examples. Magnification and minimization. So that's a little bit of what we just did. You exaggerate or minimize the importance of events. So one might believe that their achievements are unimportant, or that their mistakes are excessively important. So if you are at your job and you get a pat on the back from your supervisor saying, hey, I saw this thing you did. You really did good work on that. Thank you. And you immediately say, oh, it was nothing. I had some extra free time. I didn't think anybody would care if I just did it. So I just did it. You're minimizing yourself there. Your employer is trying to appreciate you. But in that same logic, say you're in the break room and you drop something and you break it, and something that's, just maybe like a plate or something like that. you think immediately everybody's going to hate you. And everybody looks over and they're like, oh, and you think what they're thinking, right? And automatically your brain thinks this is bigger, way bigger thing than it even is. So those two slight things are things that we do. Uh, Another is catastrophizing, so seeing only the worst possible outcome of the situation.
Okay,
This is me.
yeah.
This
Well,
one's me.
I think we both do it to a point too, and I think we do it to get the other one to tell us that it's not as big of a deal as like we do it as a way to get the other one to help us calm down.
Maybe.
We manipulate each other. It's true.
It's true. It's the foundation of a good marriage. You have to. So, yeah.
I mean, I will be 100% honest. I do it all the time. Like things that are not a big deal become a very big deal to me. Like, oh, if this doesn't get done, I'll lose my mind. I like I get upset.
And then it gets done.
Well, yeah.
Right. So
But
I reinforce the behavior. That's what happens. So, the next is overgeneralization, making broad interpretations from a single or a few events. So the example is here, and this example is from therapistaid.com, by the way. So making broad interpretations from a single or few events. I felt awkward during my job interview. I'm always so awkward. Okay, well, if you're feeling awkward during a job interview, a lot of people do that. It's a normal thing. A job interview is one of the things that people coach themselves on, go to take classes to learn how to do better. Think people don't feel awkward about it? Then why are they taking classes now to do better? Lots of people do. But then you generalize to say, I'm always so awkward. Now you're telling yourself and teaching yourself that this is who you are.
yeah.
Based on something that is normal. So that's
So
something.
like when your wife is frustrated because you left stuff on the table and you hear her sigh audibly, and so you come out and you say, God, she's always mad at me.
Yeah, like that.
I mean, I'm just spitballing.
Yeah. Yes. Good example. So,
you didn't know this was going to turn around on you, did ya?
I had a feeling it would, actually. So, another example is magical thinking. So, belief that acts will influence unrelated situations.
Oh, like wearing special socks when you watch when you watch a football game or something.
That's an example, yeah. Another one would be like, if I do, like, extreme beliefs of karma.
Mm.
So, like, I did all of these good deeds for the day, and then something bad happens to you. Is, oh, well, I didn't do enough good. So, that basically that it can be problematic to put too harshly on things that are unrelated. Personalization, the belief that one is responsible for events outside of their own control. So, for example, my mom's always upset. She'd be fine if I did more to help her. Yeah, helping people is good, but sometimes people are just upset. Sometimes people just have a bad day. It
Right.
has nothing to do with you. That's something that I take on a lot. I do that a lot. You have a bad day, you're upset about something.
Well, and I'm really I'll own it. I'm very volatile, especially when I'm really stressed. Like it's easy for me to be pushed over the edge. And so like small things, I'll just be like, ah, and you'll internalize it as, oh, I'm not doing enough to help Brynn. I need to I need to fix all the things when you can't.
No.
I'm stressed about other stuff, so.
Jumping to conclusions. This is a pretty obvious one, but interpreting the meaning of a situation with little or no evidence. So you're interpreting the thoughts of so it's like mind reading, a little bit of talked about it before, but interpreting the thoughts and beliefs of others without adequate evidence.
Right.
So for an example here is, she wouldn't go on a date with me. She probably thinks I'm ugly. Okay.
There's
Any
lots
number,
of reasons that
any number of reasons to be why somebody
that
would want
have
to go on a
nothing to
date.
do with you even. Like,
No,
she
absolutely.
just got out of a relationship that you don't know about, or
Yeah, it could be anything. Fortune telling, the expectation that a situation will turn out badly without adequate evidence. That's something that's simple enough to do.
oh, I think we all do that, especially if you're having like a rough morning, like, oh, this is going to be the worst day ever.
Yeah. I'm just going to crawl right back into bed. I've done that a lot.
Yeah.
Depression is the worst for that. Just, I'm just going to crawl right back into bed. It's not going to get any better.
But I think it can go the opposite way too. Like sometimes you just wake up and you're like in a really good mood and you're like, this is going to be a great day. And then things don't turn out exactly great. And it's like, oh, I knew it was going to be a great day this morning. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have no way of knowing what's going to happen once you walk out your door.
Well, and this is why they're distortions, because they're not actually what is going to happen. We are tricking ourselves into taking the action that we want to take.
Right.
And we're going about it in a really messed up way. Sometimes it can be for a really good reason, but we just do it in a messed up way. Emotional reasoning, the assumption that emotions can reflect the way things really are. So I feel like a bad friend, therefore I must be a bad friend. So
I think we all feel that way sometimes.
I've had this get in the way of actually reaching out to people that I haven't talked to. You know, it's just like, oh, we haven't spoken for so long. I feel like a really bad friend.
They don't want to talk to me because I'm a bad friend now.
So now we'll just not.
Yeah.
You know, that's easy to do as, you know, adults, and something that just think about it. Just a couple more here. Disqualifying the positive. Recognizing only the negative aspects of the situation while ignoring the positive. One might receive many compliments on an evaluation, but focus on a single piece of negative feedback. This is big. People used to talk about, you know, sandwiching your constructive criticisms in positives. It's a strategy.
Yeah.
And this is why it came about. It's because people tend to do this.
I think that's just, I think it's just part of the human condition though too. Like we kind of gloss over what we're good at and hyper fixate on what we're not. And things like job performance reviews, like that's a tough thing.
Well, and it's so heavily tied to what our personal identity is, but also our success in finance and then in overall life happiness. We put so much at stake on that. So this is the last one that I'm going to talk about. It's should statements, and something that I try to listen for, or really try to listen for, and I challenge people to actually listen for it as well. So their statements, their beliefs that things should be a certain way. I should always be friendly. The one thing I want to say about that is, it's okay to believe that. Know whose belief it is.
Okay, so to interrupt you, sorry, but so many times I'll say, like, I should have done this, or this should have happened, and you will throw back my face. Who says that it should? Who says that it should, Brynn?
Yeah.
And because is it something that you wanted to happen, or is it because you're like bending to societal pressure? Are you listening to like the perfect mom in your head? Like, who says it should? You've done that to me several times.
Yeah, it's important because we have a script of how things are supposed to look, a stereotype of how things are supposed to be done, and it's an ideal that hardly anyone can ever attain. And so if you're going to strive for it, okay, know why and know who you're disappointing if you don't make it. If you're disappointing yourself, okay. If you think you're disappointing another person, why is that? Why is that important to you that you are disappointing or appealing to that person, or to that notion, to that norm? Something to just be aware of for yourself.
Yeah.
It can really
Every time you've done it, it's like stopped me in my tracks and been like, who am I trying to make happy? And it's a really good strategy.
Yeah, it really is. We use it's a word we use all the time. Should. And let's think about why.
Yeah.
So
I'm really glad you shared this. Like, not to discount, you love your job, you love, like, but you do have this skill set that's unique to you and that
mhm.
you paid a lot of money
I
for.
did.
And I'm glad that you're sharing a little bit because you do have a really unique and strong understanding of why people do things and how people do things and how they work through those things. And it's nice to hear you share it, something you're passionate about.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Um, whether I had it before, the education, whether I got a lot of it through it, or in using it afterwards,
I think it's a mix of all those
um,
things.
it's too much of who I am to just completely throw it out. Even if I don't want to continue actually being a therapist, it's important to
Well, it's a good
continue.
skill to have in life.
Yeah, and to continue to look at yourself and make sure you're doing what you feel you need to do. So
Awesome. Well, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
yeah, me too.
Make sure that you are checking out our YouTube channel and subscribing there. We've hinted broadly that some more extra takes are coming, so that's where they will be first.
Yes.
Also, follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to our different things. Listen however you listen. Make sure you're getting them right away. And comment, please. We'd love to hear from you. Message us. Let us know you're listening.
If you had any specific favorites that you liked, episodes that you feel like, tell us that. Tell us like, hey, I really liked when we did this little bit about.
Yeah.
I really
So
liked.
like we talked in the beginning about how we've tried to move away from listicles. If you kind of like the listicles, we can go back to them sometimes. Like,
Mhm.
let us know. We're just kind of spitballing.
Yeah. So please, please do. We'll get out of here for this episode. Thank you for listening. Again, like, subscribe, all the above, Facebook and YouTube, and thank you.
And bye.
And bye.